Greetings folks, Dan here, and welcome to another edition of Kaiju Showcase. Today we'll be taking a look at the Ultra 7 Kaiju Gyeron, or Starbem Gyeron, or however you want to say it, because I certainly don't know how to say it properly. There's one big thing I want to say before starting it is, although he is a very interesting looking kaiju, because of that design, the toy really suffers, and I'm going to explain that right now. The good thing about this toy is it is fairly well detailed. I mean, compared to the suit in which it's based on, so you got a wee little tail, ooh, beep. It's really cool, actually. I like the detail on it, and of course, like practically every other toy I've done, the color's not right. He's actually kind of a duller gray, and he's actually got this whole blade theme going on and sharp points, and his blades on the underside and top of his arms. And there's actually kind of a gold hue to that, but he doesn't really have gold in his body. He's usually just like a dull grayish black, dull grayish black with some gold tint to the blades here and on top of his head. Now, and this is where I think the design really kills it. This is an older toy. This is actually from the 89-90 release, and because of that, it's a very hard vinyl. And the big problem with it is I think he was only made in hard vinyl, and because of the way the toy was designed, he has absolutely no articulation whatsoever. Nothing moves on him, because his abdomen, of course, right here is not perfectly circle, so it won't turn. These are more of an oval shape, so they will not turn without breaking the vinyl, which is probably the biggest fault in this toy, and I think most people are shutting off the review right now. But for those of you that are sticking around for it, that is the worst part about this toy, and it really suffers. I don't mind because I don't do articulation, but I think just for anybody, it just kills the toy for a lot of people. Because some of the people I watch and some of my friends do stop motion, so you really can't do that with this unless you just spray paint the whole thing gold or brown. Like, it's just a statue of him. This figure is actually based on this is the original mold made in 1983. He was released in every big Ultra toy release, 83, the 86-88 line, the Kaiju box he was in, the 89-90 line, which is what mine's from, and then again, lastly, was the 91 to 93 toy line, which is the last time this mold was used. He was released one more time in 1995. It was a brand new mold. It was way more accurate. I do not own it, and I really fucking wish I did. But Goji73 did a review on it, so if you want some more information and want some pictures, go check his out. But that one I'm sure is might actually have posability, but this one certainly does not. So he's really a display piece only. Let's talk a little bit about the history of this kaiju. He appeared in episode number 26 of Ultra 7. Super Weapon R1 is the title for it. The 8,000 megaton mistake is another one. Really what happened is the scientists were being all gloaty and like, well, we can make a weapon, it's really awesome, we're going to test it on this dead planet. Well, they blew up the planet, and Gyeron apparently lived on it, so he didn't take too kindly to that. Came to Earth, started messing some stuff up. He was ultimately destroyed. He does have some interesting powers, and then he can rematerialize himself, which is kind of cool. And then he gets killed again by Ultra 7 in a very gruesome fashion, but I won't spoil it. You just really need to see it because it's fucking hardcore. And it's like one of the crowning moments of why Ultra 7 is a badass. His powers are kind of interesting too, because he's supposed to be this really blade-themed kaiju. And obviously he's good, his arms are blades and everything. That is, of course, the big thing is cutting things up. He's really strong and incredibly durable because he lived through that explosion. The only thing is sometimes they shoot missiles at him. It's like, oh no effect. And then they drop some bombs like, oh, we blew him up. So there's this really strange contradiction, but I won't dabble on it too much. Some people might know more about it than I do, but just from watching the episode several times, I could not figure out why that happened. But he can reform himself. He does have regeneration. He does have a small projectile where he can put his arms together and kind of fold his arms together because they don't really bend and then shoot, but a type of projectile. But he's really tough. I actually like him. He's kind of a unique kaiju that I'm pretty sure only appeared in this series. That, to my knowledge, I've never ever, in my research, I could not find any information of him appearing in any films or side stories or even Ultra Fight. He could have appeared in Ultra Fight, or I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he was only in Ultra 7. It kind of makes me wonder why Bandai decided to go with him as one of their first toys. But again, no problem. I like Gyeron. When I watch the episode, it makes me like him even more, so it's good stuff. Lastly, we're going to talk about purchasing this toy. Since he was released in every set up to 91, finding him shouldn't be too awful hard. I mean, again, it's an older toy, so they come and go. But if you find one, I wouldn't pay a whole lot for him. I truthfully haven't seen a lot, but it could just be me. I don't look as hardcore as some other folks. I got him with the Metron Seijin for like $5. And that was from a U.S. seller, so I don't know what that has to do with it, because you can get a lot of them from Japan that are also pretty cheap. But it's you can get them, they're out there. I just wouldn't pay a lot for them. It's just going to go with my usual price, $10, $15 for one. If you get one tagged, maybe a little more. If you get an older one, of course, a little more. There's slight variations to the paint job, and it's mainly where the gold is placed. We're on the 88, 89, like mine is. There's a gold on the head, and it's mainly down the legs, and some of the other ones, there's a lot more gold, and there's a lot less gold, and you just got to do your research and find it out. But this one is for sure at 88, 89, at least by my research, unless I'm fucking blind. But they're totally out there. Again, eBay is going to be your best bet. If you can go through Yahoo Auctions Japan, you can probably find them on there pretty cheap. If you know anybody across the sea or any collectors, they'll probably get rid of them to you, get rid of it and sell it to you for fairly reasonable. So, in closing, unless you really like Gyeron, or you just like older Bandais, don't buy this toy, because it's no use. It's really hard. The detail's good. The paint's not right. There's absolutely no articulation, so that's going to be a big buzzkill for a lot of people. So you just take from what you will. So maybe you get some of you guys are willing to check them out, but if you don't, I don't fucking blame you. I don't regret purchasing him, but I'm just being truthful that most of you probably won't like the toy. But I think that's going to be it for this week's episode. I'm going to work on something for next week and such. Of course, I'm trying to keep content up on this and the other channels. So once I get a new box and I'm setting up an order for a new one. It should be here maybe in a week or so, maybe a week or 2 weeks, and there's some cool stuff that's going to be in it. And the wife's going to be ordering some pretty badass stuff too, so keep your eyes open for that. We'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.